of the biggest things I see women entering my office with is a lack of desire. And then the ensuing guilt that they don't want it, that they feel like they should. So then they go into this kind of obligation when they look at sexuality. And have you seen much of this?
Oh my gosh. This is the most common symptom that women have. Yeah. So my focus is really on women from their 20s on up to their 60s, and libido, lack of sex drive, is the number one issue.
And it's a cycle, right? It's like, I don't feel desire, then I feel guilty about not feeling desire, then that guilt makes me not feel desire.
And I'm having less sex, and I become more averse to it because I don't like what my partner is doing. And then it's a vicious cycle. It just gets worse and worse.
Right. And then because I'm averse to it, I want to keep my husband away from me. And the best way I do that is by thinking about him critically and pushing him away. Mm-hmm. And so beginning to reverse that cycle. I know as a woman, desire for me had been this kind of enigma. It was this thing, and it would enter by accident, almost like the muse or something. It would come when it came, and then it would go. And then I began to discover there's a way to work with it that is, again, slower and much more suited to my body. So in my mind, there's 4 stages of desire. There's first, and what's shocking is most women aren't even connected here, and that's knowing what we want. I can look out, I'll be teaching, and there'll be a group of women, and I'll say, do you know what you want? And there'll be this look like, just shock. Yes. The next layer then is being able to communicate what we want. More often than not, what a woman will say is, oh no, I can't ask for what I want, because if I do, he'll think there's something wrong. He'll think that he's not very smart, or he doesn't know what to do. The third layer then, which is interesting because most of us don't even make it here, is to begin to actually acknowledge what we've received. And to communicate that acknowledgement. We're so scarce that we are used to getting what we want from a man by withholding. So it's directing him by not giving, and the number one thing would be sex, right? So you aren't getting any sex because you didn't bring out the garbage. And then the fourth is really beginning to live in this place of gratitude. And it's almost like you begin to shift tanks from a mind that chronically notices what we're missing. I have these women come in and say like, he won't give me what I want. He won't do what I want. And the guys, they're like, please just tell me anything. You just let me do it. But she can't see that. It's almost like she's in that tank and then switching over to this other tank. And I think you might have some thoughts on this in terms of how this is hormonally affected. But that place where, I know, for example, I can look at my boyfriend and I can see this guy who eats too fast. Who really just eats too fast. Or I can see the same man, and I can see this man who never, not once, has not received me when I came in to cuddle with him or hug him.
That is so beautiful. I mean, it's changing your story, right? We get attached to this story of what our marriage is like, or what our relationship is like, or these habits that we don't like in our partner, instead of getting to that place of really appreciating what he or she does offer. Right. And it's true, I eat, drink, and sleep the hormonal determinants of desire, and those are estrogen and progesterone in right balance, cortisol where you want it to be, not too high, not too low, and then thyroid function. So those 3 are really important, but it's also overly reductionistic to look at it that way. It's in the context of connectivity. Connectivity is so important for women. And I think a lot of women don't realize this. You write about it in your book, I believe, about how men often need sexual connection to feel connected. They need sex to feel connected, and women need sexual connection to be receptive to sex.
That's exactly what yes.
And so you're set up for this gap, right? You're set up for a total disconnect. And unless you really get that, unless you understand it, you're going to be batting heads.
Exactly.